Sir, Padil, Pawar sir, you can start now because it's chapter 10.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I welcome everyone in a 5th day of student development program organized by D-Bar to Lonere on the occasion of Pharmacist Day. I thank organizers and D-Bar for giving me opportunity to host today's event. Today's eminent speaker is Hemraj Pawar sir. It's my great pleasure to introduce him. He has been working with Lupin as a business operation head since August 2020. From 2015 to 2020, he was working with the Apollo Diagnostic as Assistant General Manager. During his tenure in Apollo Diagnostic, he has successfully launched the brands from 0 to 180 crores in 5 years of time. From 2013 to 2015, he was working as a state head with Diagnolab Private Limited. From 2005 to 2013, he was working with SRL Diagnostic as a Deputy Regional State Manager. He has done his D-Pharmacy from MSBT Mumbai and B-Pharmacy from Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Currently, he is pursuing MBA degree from Wellinger Institute of Management. With this brief introduction, I request Hemraj Pawar sir to proceed further for the session. Hemraj Pawar sir.
Yeah, 1 second, sir. Can I get screen sharing option?
You can share, sir. You can share. Share it, sir.
Because I'm unable to share the screen.
Share it, sir.
Karanna host karana. Host ke
just a minute. Just a minute. I will talk to him.
Okay. Okay.
Pawar sir, you can able to share. I think just try once.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Screen is there, sir.
It is visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. It is visible.
Okay. So, good afternoon, dear all. Many to Dr. Pawar sir for your kind words of introduction. I'm grateful to the organizing committee of D-Batu for inviting me in this lecture series. I'm really happy to interact with the budding pharmacist through this platform. Actually, 10 days back, Dr. Swot called me and told me about this lecture series celebration. And he asked me to share time as a speaker. And as per him, most of the pharma students don't know about career opportunities available in diagnostic field. Rather, diagnostic is not that much common field for pharma student. So I told him, give me time of 1 or 2 days. I'll check my schedule and I'll definitely let you know. But he told me that I want your time and that's it. So I like his overall approach towards student, which is really appreciable. So I decided to spare some time for this activity. And also as a pharma graduate, it's my duty to guide our upcoming talents. Actually, I remember 17 years back, exactly 17 years back, I completed my graduation from Satara College of Pharmacy. And just to update everyone that I was average student of college and somehow I achieved first class. But later on, when I joined this field has taught me so much in life, starting from discipline till achievement and success in life. Sorry, I went back to my past actually. And suddenly remember college days. By considering need of seeking job, I have joined this field as a sales executive only. And now I'm working as a head of business and operation for Lupin Diagnostics, which is Indian national brand market. So my opening message to all the students is to be focused, determined, and never underestimate yourself. You can build your career with right approach and
Your voice is muted. Unmute yourself.
I'm not able to. Not audible. Am I audible now?
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Your voice is
It's not,
breaking.
it's not clear, sir.
No, is it fine?
Voice is not clear, sir. There may be range
Okay,
issue.
let me change my. 1 second. 1 second. Oh, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're,
Yes,
you're audible.
Okay, so you have not heard any single word till time.
No, we have heard, but last few sentences.
Okay, no issue. So I'll start from first, no issue. Good afternoon, dear all. Many thanks to Dr. Yogesh Pawar, sir, for your kind word of introduction. I'm grateful to the organizing committee of DBATU for inviting me in this lecture series. I'm really happy to interact with this budding pharmacist through this platform. Actually, 10 days back, Dr. Swot called me and told me about this lecture series as a part of World Pharmacist Day. And as per him, most of the pharma students don't know about career opportunities available in diagnostic field. Rather, diagnostic is not that common in the field for pharma student. So I told him, give me time of 1 or 2 days. I'll check my schedule and let you know. But he told me that I want your time and that's it. So I like his overall approach towards student, and so I decided to spare some time for this activity. And also as a pharma student, as a graduate, it's my duty to guide our upcoming talents. Sir, I remember 7 years back, I completed my graduation from Satara College of Pharmacy. And just to update everyone that I was every student of the college and somehow achieved first class. But later on, when I joined this field has taught me so much in life, starting from discipline till achievement and success, everything. And by considering need for seeking job, I have joined this field as a sales executive only. And now I'm working as a head of business operation for Lupin Diagnostics, which is multinational leading brand in the market. So my opening message to all students is to be focused, determined, and never underestimate yourself. You can build your career with the right approach and attitude. With this positive note, let's begin with today's topic, that is marketing in medical diagnostics. But here I have reframed the topic a little bit and mentioned as diagnostic market overview and opportunities available in this field. So I have divided this discussion into 4 parts. That is, first will be introduction and background of diagnostic industry. What is the size of diagnostic industry? How this diagnostic industry is working? Various departments available in diagnostics and their correlation with pharmacy profession. Scope to pharma graduate, or what are the career opportunities available in diagnostics field, and certain expectations from pharma student. So this diagnostic industry has emerged as an attractive player in India's growing healthcare sector and is one of the fastest growing services in the industry, in the country. Currently, diagnostic industry is estimated around 675 billion and it is estimated to grow at compounded annual growth rate of 15% for over the next 5 years. The diagnostic, 1 second. So this diagnostic industry consists of 3 parts. One is diagnostic chain. Basically, we are calling them as organized player or big corporates whose presence is available nationally, or some of the players are working regionally only. So some of the pan-India players you might have heard of, like SRL Diagnostics, Metropolis, Dr. Lal Pathlab, Upload Diagnostics, or Thyrocare, whose presence is available pan-India or all over India. And some of the players are working regionally only, like PH Diagnostics in Pune, Suburban Diagnostic in Pune and Mumbai. If you go to South Delhi, then you will find Vijay Diagnostic in Hyderabad, then Anand Diagnostic in Bangalore. And towards east, you will find Suraksha Diagnostics. So these are the brands working in that specific region only. So all these diagnostic chains are working on a hub and spoke model. So what is hub and spoke model? That we will discuss in further slides. So the contribution of this diagnostic chain is only 16% in total revenue, total business size. And all these players are maintaining quality protocols like NABL, CAP, and ISO. So we are calling them as organized players. Secondly, second category is hospital. Many hospitals are having their own lab setup. Means all the multi-specialty hospital having bed size of 25 and above are putting their own lab setup inside hospital and doing the test as per their daily requirement. And remaining tests, they are outsourcing to diagnostic chain or local pathologist partner. And this segment is contributing around 37% of revenue. Third group is standalone lab. Standalone lab means all the small labs with basic test menu, like all mom and pop shops like DMLT labs. Those comes under unorganized sector. We are calling them as unorganized sector. Why I'm calling them unorganized sector? Because they are not following all quality protocols. But the contribution of this segment is very high. That is 47% of total turnover. So contribution wise, these standalone labs are growing ahead. Even being an unorganized sector, these small labs are contributing more in revenue, and that is seriously a major concern of this Indian diagnostic market. So next slide, sir, now this slide is indicating overview of diagnostic market. Like first figure is giving you an idea of how healthcare sector is growing year by year. Every year this market is growing by 15%. That means there are increasing number of opportunities available in healthcare sector. This healthcare sector means diagnostics, hospitals, health insurance, and medical devices. All these are contributing in this. Here, the second image is talking about awareness and penetration of diagnostics in rural and urban areas. So most of the organized players are available in urban area only. So around 60% diagnostic business are coming from urban areas. And that is only from 30% population. So this may be due to lots of awareness, facilities available in urban areas, or other so many factors. But the fact is, there is a lot of scope for all the corporates to start their facilities in rural areas as well. So now all the corporates are now investing in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Tier 2, tier 3 means all the smaller district places with their routine and specialized testing facilities as per the need of that market. And super specialized tests, they are outsourcing to small cities, like to their nearest RRL or NRL laboratory. This third image is showing, sir, diagnostic market is basically divided into two parts, like radiology and pathology. But here, pathology dominates overall market. So out of Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this radiology and pathology, so radiology is contributing around 30% and pathology is contributing around 70% of business. So imaging diagnostic segment consists of more complex tests like CT scan, MRI, X-ray, sonography, and other highly specialized tests like PET scan. And pathology diagnostic consists of all tests starting from basic routine biochemistry, hematology till specialized tests like molecular genetic based test. And a famous example, we all know that COVID RT-PCR is the current example that most of us have experienced or visited these radiology centers during this pandemic. This fourth image is talking about prescription segment. You will find that still in India, prescription-based tests are more. Means without prescription or doctor recommendation, nobody is doing testing or a screening of their body. And this percentage is very high. That is 93% of people are following doctors only. So this is just because of awareness about self-care is the biggest challenge here. And thereby the percentage of preventive health checkup are very less. Only 7% of people are doing wellness or health checkups. But it is very important to do regular checkup or screening of our body at least once in a year. And then in that case, you can avoid many chronic diseases like that usually we come to know at later stage, like diabetes, heart related or cancer diseases. Early screening will always give added advantage for immediate recovery, but still that awareness is missing in our country. Being a pharmacy professional, at least we can start from our house or our neighbors to motivate people for preventive health checkups. In India, the 5 slide I am talking about, in India, the diagnostic labs are very less compared to other countries. If you refer here, in US, 418 labs are available per million population. But in India, this percentage is very less. Only 39 labs are available per million population. So here we have significant room for growth. Now, most of the corporates or pharma companies are entering into this business, and after this pandemic, most of the people are looking for quality and accredited labs in India. So this is bringing our attention towards need and significance of diagnostics. Now here in third slide, I told you about diagnostic chain and standalone labs. So major difference is diagnostics labs are organized and standalone labs are unorganized. Here, through this figure, you will come to know that organized brands are still way behind than unorganized in percentage, and bigger reason is accreditation. So unorganized players are dominating this market. Around 84% of market in India is dominated by unorganized sector. And that is because of there are absolutely no restriction, no guidelines or mandatory criteria for setting up pathology laboratory. And as a result, anyone can set up a pathology center in India. So no specific law regulating to the industry, although central government has passed Clinical Establishment Act in 2011, but this law is yet to be implemented in spirit. Moreover, sir, it is left to individual states to implement that. Means they have given order to state governments that you decide as per your states. But there is an urgent need for legislation and regulation to maintain a basic minimum level of quality in labs in India. Here again, the Indian Medical Council advises test report to be signed by the MD pathology doctor, but no one is there to keep the check on it. And there is no penalty for someone who is not following such advices. So entire treatment protocol is based on our report of the test, but nobody is following this. And due to this, we are hampering the life of so many patients. So if you find here, out of 110,000 laboratories, or out of 110,000 diagnostic lab in India, less than 1% are accredited by NABL. And if you compare ourselves with other countries like US, Japan, and European countries, then we are far behind from them. So here, corporates and new entrant have lots of scope to enter into this business. So as I said, all corporates or organized players are accredited by NABL or they are accredited by CAP accreditation. So what is NABL exactly? So NABL is nothing but National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories. It is basically a autonomous body under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. And the objective of NABL is to provide third-party assessment of the quality and technical competence of testing and calibration laboratories. So in India, Government of India has authorized NABL as an accreditation body for testing and calibration. So it demonstrates that a laboratory is capable and competent to carry out specified scope. And post-COVID-19, this awareness has increased. People are looking for quality-driven labs. And government also has not given approval to any lab which is not accredited by NABL. So it is a mandatory required for COVID-19 testing or COVID PCR testing, as most of the organized or national players are focuses on quality and they are getting this accreditation by these bodies voluntarily. CAP is also similar kind of thing. So CAP is nothing but College of American Pathologists. They are excellence in laboratory things. It's a global leader basically. They are focusing on improving quality of services using their established performance standard. And ISO is also similar thing, like it is an indicative of quality and competence of in medical laboratory. So what we come to know from this is whenever we are in critical medical situation or looking for preventive health checkups, we should look for such accredited diagnostic labs. Now here, as you all know that diagnosis is the first step of disease management. Without accurate identification, there is no possibility for accurate treatment. Currently, sir, modified lifestyle is a major contributor for many diseases. You should know that India is the third largest country in obesity. Moreover, with the rise in health problems in the society and due to rising burden of chronic diseases or non-communicable diseases like cardiac, diabetes, chronic respiratory diseases, strokes, or cancer, this diagnostic sector is a critical component of any healthcare sector. Globally, around 80% of the physician diagnoses from the result of laboratory test. These are mainly of three types, like routine, specialized and super specialized tests. Common tests like sugar, cholesterol, HIV, pap tests, or pregnancy related tests. Or in specialized things, they are doing all the monitoring based tests or prognosis or disease related tests like HIV monitor, HIV PCR, or in case of hepatitis, they are doing hepatitis viral load. So, or monitoring or disease progression related tests they are doing. And in super specialty tests, genetic related tests, or immunology, oncology related tests. So these are the critical segment that is seriously growing in Indian market. So here, I'm talking about major growth drivers of diagnostic sector. So these are the major growth drivers. So primarily, it is driven by change in demographics, increase in lifestyle diseases, aging population is one of the reason, higher income level across all state of society, rise in preventive testing, deeper penetration with asset-light expansion, and spread of healthcare services and insurance services. So currently, inclusion of diagnostic test under insurance coverage could be act as a booster for this diagnostic industry. And this facility is available in other countries, like certain tests like OPD, outpatient department, or diagnostic test coverage is available in insurance policy, but in India it is not there. Now, as per various industry estimate, 20% of diagnostic test services are being reimbursed via insurance claim, and rest is met by out-of-pocket expenses. So this is resulting that most of the population are opting for cheaper alternatives. So we are expecting a similar kind of facilities in India, that everything should be covered under insurance policy. So now most of the insurance companies are coming ahead and taking this precaution like Western countries. So here I'm trying to cover how this corporate diagnostics are working pan-India. So this is a typical model of all diagnostic chain, like most of them are working on hub and spoke model, like I told you before. Like hub and spoke means this hub is basically national reference laboratory. Basically, it is a hub of all the testing. Here, we are processing, or every corporate is processing all the tests. And spoke means different collection points, collection centers, nearest smallest laboratory. HLM and RLM. HLM means hospital lab management. RLM means retail lab management. And this RRL means regional reference laboratory. So basically, this NRL is available in metro cities where all the testing facilities are available. RRL means smaller kind of setup available, like some kind of routine as well as specialized facilities available as per the need of market. And SL means again a smaller lab, which is available in district level. And these are the various facilities available in NRL, like biochemistry, starting from routine biochemistry till specialized tests like genetics, NGS, and all these facilities available in NRL, like kind of things. So basically, all diagnostic chain are working in this model. Now here we will talk about correlation of diagnostic department with pharmacy professional. So during our 4 years of course, we are learning many objects from various departments, and this knowledge gain is helping us while working in various sectors. So being a student, we try to study this subject only in exam point of view. And but let me tell you, theoretical concept, principle, instrumentation, and many practical approaches and their significance we learn during our pharmacy course are seriously a lifelong learning for us. So in previous slide, we have seen different departments through which any lab diagnostic works. And here we are going to correlate our pharmacy knowledge with that. So we study biochemistry, where in our college lab, we are working to determine liver parameters or kidney parameters like HGFT, HGOT, creatinine, burn. So principal, normal value, clinical significance, we are already studying it. So in case of human anatomy and physiology subject, we study blood related practical. So theory and practicals of hematology, coagulation parameter, like we know the terms RBC, CBC, or WBC, hemoglobin estimation, bleeding time, clotting time. Yes, we cannot ignore the fact that in our college lab, we are working with traditional method and instrument for estimation of everything. But currently in organized diagnostic, this is advanced and automated instruments are available actually. But at least this parameter or this subject is giving us clinical significance, and that is sufficient knowledge to start with. So being a pharmacy student, we are not entering blank in the market, and that is a positive side of our field actually. So in pharmaceutical analysis also, we study fluorometry, colorimetry, flow cytometry, and we handle this instrument in, I think, pharmacology subject or pharmacology lab. In microbiology, we study immunoassay, PCR technique, and different bacterial cultures. In biotechnology, we study about means PCR or genetics related things. So here we connect ourselves with diagnostic so much. So it's my kind appeal to all the students that get your concept clear in these 4 years of subject to prove yourself better than science graduate when you enter in any competitive industrial sector. So in next slide, we will talk about career planning. Career planning is a deliberate process of knowing who you are so that you can be sure of where you want to go or what you want to be at some defined point in future. Actually, career planning is a crucial step that can determine the direction of your professional life. And that will be suit to your, we have to select our career as per that will suit to our personality, interest or goals. And it involves exploring a different career option by doing self-analysis. So I have mentioned that self-analysis or self-assessment is an important thing that everybody has to do. Like self-analysis means get to know yourself. It's informed decision by understanding yourself and what you want to do in life. For this, you will need to consider your personality, strength, weaknesses, values, interest, everything, goals, talent. You can also use online career assessment tool. Now it is widely available. If you don't understand or if you cannot do your self analysis, then you can use online analysis, online tools, or you like self-talk. This self-talk is seriously a powerful tool for increasing your self-confidence and removing negative emotions. So it will not only increase your confidence, but also increase your productivity. Actually, it is your inner voice, and you may or may not have spent much time thinking about it or giving any attention to this. So it is a very much important tool for career planning. So, third point I have mentioned, like select your career by choice and not by chance. So career is far more than just a job. So it is very essential for students to follow their heart, interest, and choose a correct career. And it should be according to the talent and skill and not because someone suggested it. Here, your personal preferences are very much required. For choosing, and in fourth slide, I have mentioned like confidence, overconfidence, and no confidence. Like for choosing any career option, you should be enough self-confident that everybody is saying that self-confidence is good. Confidence is good thing, but everybody is saying that overconfidence is not. But in many cases, we can say that overconfidence is better than no confidence. So what you want to pursue is really a personal choice. So as per your interest, narrow down the list of career option and just follow your instinct and choose the correct one. So these are the certain steps I have mentioned as a career planning. In next slides, we will discuss about different career opportunities available in diagnostic field. So now here we come to your part of interest actually. So these are the career opportunities available with diagnostic field. First one is sales. You can make your career in sales profession as you have theoretical knowledge of anatomy, physiology, or various instrument, test, and we have subject like business management also. So that everything is already covered in our curriculum. So here diagnostic sales is a right choice for us. So let me tell you, diagnostic sales is different than pharma sales, where in diagnostic we are involved in end-to-end services, and which requires a little scientific and technical knowledge. And I have mentioned here like sales is basically B2B activity. B2B business means you're doing business from business. That is from doctors, lab, or corporate clients. So sales is B2B activity. And these are the various promotional opportunities available in sales department. Like you can start your career from a sales executive and reach up to CEO of the company also. So president of the company. These are certain positions available. So you can start your career from sales executive and reach up to head of the business or president of the company. And in most of the corporates, you will find that business heads or presidents are from the sales industry only. Second option available with diagnostic field is marketing. So most of the students don't know that they are thinking that marketing and sales is one thing. It's a similar kind of thing, but in diagnostic, this department is different, or in pharma sales also, this department is different, where marketing is majorly focuses towards brand development or brand advertisement. Whatever publicity you're seeing on the road, that is done by marketing team. So like BTL, ATL activities we are saying, this is the normal terms we are using in marketing department. BTL means below the line and ATL means above the line. So all the holdings, bigger advertisement comes under this ATL category, and smaller awareness like joggers park or leaflet insertion, that comes under BTL activities. So many activity, whatever awareness program we are doing for business development, that comes under this marketing department. So we are calling them as B2C department because it is directly related to consumer. So business to consumer is B2C basically. So the business is coming directly from the consumer or end user by seeing the advertisement. And as you all know that we have great impact with lots of TV advertisement, and that is again a part of marketing only. And these are the certain opportunities available for marketing executive, that you can start your career from marketing executive. And in diagnostic also, or in every company, these positions you can reach up to GM, VP, or president of marketing department, because this department is also a crucial department for any business. Third opportunity available with us is product management team. But for this position, you should know the sales. Means for entering into this field, you have to start your career from sales only, because market knowledge is very much required. Because PMT is a combination of sales and marketing, where it required a combination of knowledge and skills. And this department is responsible for product development or product related literature writing, preparation of unique selling proposition for that product. They are deciding pricing of the product or user experiences. They are capturing everything related to the product, and they are doing product analysis as well. So this is one department where you can do your career, but little knowledge and depth knowledge is very much required, and certain skills are required. So here also you can start your career from a marketing executive, and you can reach up to marketing manager or PMT head of the company. And the last option available with diagnostic field, that you can be an entrepreneur, that you can start your own business by taking the franchisee of any corporate diagnostics, or you can say you can take dealership of IVD industry or kit and reagent, and you can earn handsome money from this business opportunity also. So this is widely nowadays, most of the people, most of the IT guys are also coming into this segment, and they are taking a diagnostic franchisee. Because here, if you compare diagnostic franchisee with pharma chemist, then difference of earning is very much. Like in pharma case, or if you want to become a chemist shop, then you will get around 20% of margin. But in case of diagnostic, you can earn 30 to 35% of margin from this business. So this is a handsome business, and where you can earn handsome money actually. So here in this slide, these are the certain expectation that we have from pharma student. So I have mentioned these 4 or 5 points only, because this is our personal experiences while taking interviews. Like most of the people or most of the pharma guys are coming to us for the interviews, and we have seen, we are seeing these are the common gaps. Like they are coming with the casual attitude. So this will not work in any industry. The casual attitude is very much. People are not that serious about their career. So we have to be firm. We have to be so serious about this. Should be determined, and positive approach is very much required here. And wherever we are giving interviews, that clarity should be there in your mind. So this casual attitude we are seeing so many times, like most of the people are coming from M-Pharm background also to us. And when we ask them like, why you want to join this sales field or why you want to join this marketing field, being a M-Pharm guy, then that time they are saying that we didn't get anything in other fields, so we wanted to join sales. So sales is not that easy field. This is the one of the complex field that anybody can pursue. So this is not like that. So the casual approach is very much in our pharma background student. So if you will find in the market, most of the BSc guys are successful than pharma guys. I don't know the reason, because we have sufficient product knowledge, we have sufficient body related knowledge, but still our people are behind in this sales field. Conceptual understanding is a bigger gap. Whenever anybody is coming from pharma field, then we expect that they should have certain knowledge like pharmacokinetics, what is meant by pharmacokinetics, dynamics, or what is meant by PCRs. Small question we are asking, basic question we are asking, but they are not well versed with the conceptual understanding. So whatever we are studying in our 4 years, that thorough knowledge should be there. That subject knowledge should be there. That will give seriously added advantage while entering into this field. Professionalism is nowadays is missing. Means whenever people are coming to us for the interviews, मतलब आजकल आप देखोगे कि इंटरव्यू जा रहे हैं तो भी लोग शेविंग नहीं करते. Basic professionalism that is somehow missing in our today's generation. I don't know what is the reason behind that. Means nobody want to take their career seriously. But if you want to sustain, if you want to do certain things in this career, then you have to be, some professionalism should be there, because we are always saying that pharmacy is a professional course. So that professionalism should be there in our certain thing like body language. While giving interviews, they are doing certain facial expression, eye to eye contact is missing, and they are doing certain hand movements. So we have to avoid these certain things like body language and things. Communication skill. So communication skills is very important in any field. You can join any field. This is the basic requirement of any job. So it should be decent, commendable, and precise. So these are some of the expectations that we are expecting from pharma student. So, well, that is all from my side, sir. Hope you understand the scope and potential of diagnostic industry. I tried to showcase most of the aspect and expectation of this industry. Hope this will be helpful to you in future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I request all the students, you can have the questions if you have, or you can put the questions on chat box also.
My first question is, see, for opening of any medical shop, there is a requirement of you have to do registration with FDA and all these things. Similarly, for opening or establishing a diagnostic lab, or as a taking a franchisee, what are the prerequisites or what are the requirements to have a franchisee of diagnostic lab at our own doorstep?
So you're not audible, sir, actually.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
For taking a franchisee of any diagnostic lab, what are the prerequisites?
Okay. So basically, sir, we are looking for a person from healthcare background, having capacity of investing around 3 to 5 lakhs of means 3 to 5 lakhs of investment is there in this business. This 3 to 5 lakhs is required for infrastructure basically. So every company has standard infrastructure design. So we have to maintain infrastructure design everywhere, similar like when you visit to Bombay or Pune or Satara. So that center should be look like, for example, I am in Lupin Diagnostics. So Lupin Diagnostics Center should be uniform everywhere across country. So that is one parameter. Second thing, in any business, you should have, means you have to give sufficient time to any business. That personal time is required. Secondly, for every aspect, company is there to support business partner, because that business partner is the front face of that company in that area. So he has to be attentive. He has to pick up all the calls from clients or hospitals or patients. So that is minimum requirement that we are expecting from any franchisee partner.
So you told in a presentation that the profit margin is at least 30 to 35% in diagnostic labs as compared to the regular medical shops. So
Right.
what will be your message to the students?
Nowadays, this diagnostic industry or overall healthcare industry is growing so fast, because after this pandemic, this awareness is increased in a very high way. And if you want to earn maximum money, because nowadays, sir, these online companies are also coming like MedLife and other people. They are giving a more margin than this our regular chemist. Our regular chemist is getting 18 to 20% from wholesaler, and this MedLife kind of people or online pharmacy are giving more than 15-20% to the patient directly. So from chemist shop, they will earn only 5%, or from other brands, they will earn maybe 10% or like that. But here, in case of diagnostic, if you choose this diagnostic franchise, then definitely they will earn more. And nowadays, this awareness is increased. Most of the people are looking for quality related reports. So everybody want quality reports. So I'll definitely recommend to go for this diagnostic franchise.
Okay, sir. Pawar sir, you can take the question.
Yes, sir. Yes,
YouTube
sir.
also.
We have one question. Pawar sir, we have one question. Is there any regulatory requirement to run this business? Like we need
not
a
required.
license. Not required.
Not required.
Okay, sir.
Because you are an authorized partner for that company. So authorization certificate you will get from that company or that organization.
Okay.
And we want to take BMW license, like biomedical waste license, that we will get after our Shop Act.
Yeah.
We have to do Shop Act, that shop, and after that we will get BMW license, and that is the only requirement to run this business.
Shop Act is mandatory.
Yeah, Shop Act is mandatory, and after Shop Act only you will get the BMW license.
Okay. Is there any question?
Sir, you can see the questions from YouTube also. Okay, I will see whether any question is there of students from YouTube. My next question is to you is that nowadays with the COVID pandemic, as per your discussion, the scope for diagnostic market is increasing. Whether this is related with only with diagnostic kits, or diagnostic equipments also?
So actually, sir, this is a combination of everything actually. So most of the people are now shifting to this accreditation part. Like I said, like in case of COVID PCR, this Nabl was the mandatory requirement for every lab. So at least most of the lab have taken Nabl only at least for that COVID PCR. They have not added each and every parameter into that scope, Nabl scope, but at least they have taken accreditation or Nabl accreditation for that RT-PCR. So maybe once they will get addicted with this kind of Nabl certification, so they will definitely go for other parameters as well. Like nowadays in this diagnostic field, sir, all the corporates are getting this instrument, like all the bigger instrument on RR basis, like reagent and rental basis. So we need not to invest for the instrument, but we have to buy that kits or reagent in a required quantity. So while doing agreement only, we have to decide that this much of reagent and kits you have to purchase from us, and then we will give this instrument free of cost to you. So ultimately, the scope for instrument, kits, reagent, and this diagnostic setup is increased. This is combined process actually.
So government is also saying be vocal for local. So how your industry is gearing up for this particular slogan given by Honorable Prime Minister?
Vocal for local. Okay.
Yeah.
So nowadays, sir, all the corporates are looking or entering into this tier 2 and tier 3 market. So this is a target of every industry nowadays. So like if I have to give example, like 20 years back or 15 years back, when I joined this field, that time thyroid was also a specialized test. Like while means you have to send thyroid sample to Bombay for testing. Nowadays it is available locally. Means in every district you will find that thyroid machine is available, chemiluminescence machine is available, or immunoassay facility is available, or this facility like hormone related assays is available locally. So these corporates are entering into each and every city nowadays. Like if I talk about my industry also, we are starting our laboratory in Satara as well. But earlier it was not the case. We are starting our laboratory in Latur or small market like Bid. So this penetration of corporates are happening everywhere. Like I showed in my one of the slide, like the urban area is 67% or all other areas are 30% only. So the focus of every diagnostic industry is now rural areas. So we will definitely support to this slogan.
Yes, sir. I think, is there any question, or shall we conclude?
I think you can have some questions. Okay, this question is there, but it is not pertaining to diagnostic market.
Yes.
His question is, what is the process to get pharmacy license?
So you can ask your teachers.
It is a relevant question as far as the session is concerned. So just my last question to you, that what will be your take home message to the students to be successful? You have given a slide, but still this will be my question to you. What will the take home message to the students to be successful in this, because this is a field which is not known to every one of the students, because whenever we are saying marketing or sales, we know only sales or marketing pertaining to medicines only.
Right.
So your session was kept purposefully only to have the insight to the students regarding there is also an area which is need to be explored in greater extent, because there is a huge scope, and early bird catches the worm. This is the slogan, always it is used, and very few students are entering into the market. So what will be your message to the students for getting entry and to become successful in this area where you are working now?
Okay, so I'll definitely recommend each and every student to join diagnostic field, because now this is the future of the industry. If you can refer any healthcare sector, like most of the people don't know that this corporate or hospital marketing is also available in the field. This hospital marketing is similar to diagnostic marketing, or this hospital sales is similar to diagnostic sales. Like you can take any name like Apollo Hospital or Oakwood Hospital, or you can say Fortis Hospital. These all hospitals or all the standalone hospital, local hospital having multi-specialty hospital facilities, they are also having these positions like sales and marketing. So once you join this field, once you join sales and marketing of anything, like if you enter through pharma sector, so I'll tell you the difference between pharma sales or diagnostic sales. So in case of pharma sales, our touch points are basically chemist, our touch point are stockist, and our touch points are doctors. Okay, only on this 3 touch point we are working. So daily these guys, pharma guys are working, they are meeting to doctors, they are seeing into nearest chemist that whether this product is available, whether this doctor is writing my prescription or not. And this order they are taking from this stockist. So 3 touch points are there in case of pharma marketing. When you join this diagnostic marketing or diagnostic sales, here you have to work starting, means you have to work from end-to-end services. This is service industry basically. So starting from sample collection till report delivery, you have to work on each and every parameter. So this is a smaller difference. And again, you're playing with patients' report directly. So you have to be a little cautious with this field. So I'll definitely recommend, because see, if you want to grow faster, if you want to earn a handsome salary within shorter period of time, then this is a opportunity. Then you have to definitely join sales. And on the basis of your performance, on the basis of your caliber, on the basis of your self-motivation, you can definitely grow in this field. So this is basically a personal choice, and I'll definitely recommend this. And if anybody want to do their career in sales, then definitely I'll recommend they can do B.Pharm, and after B.Pharm they can join for MBA, not for M.Pharm.
So higher education in administration, as per your opinion, is required to be.
Yeah, it is required for upper positions. Like if you want to grow for above AGM position, it is very much required.
So you have to do B.Pharm MBA.
Yes.
Whether so you have told us BSc graduates are also entering into your field.
Correct.
So how we should take over those people from the science graduates or plain science graduates, because pharmacy students are not so much interested in this area because this area is not known to them. There are so many areas. We have explored one because we are seeing you sitting there at Lupin and doing fantastic work. Similarly, what will be what we can strengths the students should have with them?
So why BSc graduates or this science graduates are taking over to pharmacy guys? Because as you told, rightly told, like our people are not that serious about this field, sales field. So everybody is looking for operation related things, or everybody want to join production, quality control, quality assurance, or everybody want to become a researcher. But that is not that easy. You have a lot of competition in that field as well. But in case of science graduate, they don't have any options other than, so they join this field and they're doing like anything. But our people are not ready to do certain things in this sales field. So they have that they have that science knowledge is already there with us. It is better than science graduate people. Pharmacy professionals have better knowledge, better understanding of everything. Like they understand mechanism of action of drug. They understand human anatomy properly. They have enough knowledge of microbiology, everything. But still, they do not want to pursue career in this field. And this required, so like I told sir, this required a personal. This is personal choice basically. Most of the people don't like that. अरे क्या यार वो बैग लेके जाए डॉक्टर के पास जाए वो क्या है तो बेसिकली मराठीत आपल्याकडे म्हणतात ना सर की लोकांना लाज वाटते किंवा शेजारचा काय म्हणेल म्हणून मी या फील्ड मध्ये जॉईन करू की नको तर शेवटी शेजारचा आपल्या घरात आणून नाही देणार आहे ना तर दिस इज आवर पर्सनल डिसिजन वी हॅव टू ग्रो and if you do better, if you perform better, then definitely we will grow faster in this field.
Is there any question?
Any questions are
Santosh sir?
No, sir. No. Next speaker has also joined, sir. So
Your
we
voice
can
is not clear, sir.
conclude.
Shelke sir, your voice is breaking.
Your voice is not clear, sir.
No, sir. No questions from my side. No question. No question.
No question. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
If there are no questions, so we can stop here. Over to you,
Okay.
Patil sir.
Yes, sir. Patil sir, you can proceed for the vote of thanks. Co-chairman of this session. Patil sir.
Patil sir, तुमचा आवाज येत नाहीये. We are not able to hear it. You need to unmute yourself.
हो येतो सर आता.
Hi,
Yeah,
Dr.
you
Sir.
are.
डॉक्टर मनोज कुमार एस पाटील, प्रिन्सिपल सह्याद्री कॉलेज ऑफ फार्मसी, मेथोडे, सांगोला. Good afternoon to everyone. It is such an honor for me to get the opportunity to thank you all the dignitaries. I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed delegates of the E-Student Development Program for their presence and contribution to make this program a great success. I extend my gratitude to our honorable keynote speaker, Mr. Hemraj Pawar sir, to take out time from his busy schedule to grace this event. Thank you for sharing your valuable guidance on the diagnostic sectors. A special thank to Dr. Alurkar sir, Dr. Radhasni sir, Dean of Faculty of Pharmacy D.Batu, for providing immense support to make the program successful. I must thank the organizing team, volunteer, for working hard for the past few days to make the program successful. Thank you everyone once again for making it a great success. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you once again from all of us and Faculty of Pharmacy.
Okay, sir. We should conclude now. We can leave the meeting, I think.
Now the second speaker is ready. He has joined also.
Yes,
And,
sir has joined. Sir has joined.
Now we can. Nitin Jain sir, you can take for the charge.
Sir, joined is sir.
We will start with the second session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Praveen English sir joined झाले का sir? Is joined it?
Yes. I joined already. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
On the behalf of organizing committee, I welcome to our today's speaker, Dr. Praveen English sir, senior lecturer at the International Medical University, Malaysia. Then I again welcome to Dr. Alurkar sir, Dean of the D.Batu Pharmacy Faculty, Dr. Radhasni sir, Associate Dean, and or my colleagues, some professional colleagues, Santosh Shelke sir, then Dr. V. Kailash sir, and Dr. Ige sir. So I welcome to all of you dignitaries to this program, and I hand over the mic to the Dr. Ige sir to introduce our today's guest or today's speakers. Dr. Ige sir. Ige sir, you joined it? Just a minute, sir. I will check.
Yeah, sure. So I introduced, not an issue, sir. Nitin sir.
ईके सर ज्वाइंट होता है, एक सेकंड सर, ईके सर ज्वाइंट होता है, एक मिनट सर.
Maybe and up to that point of time, we can start sharing my screen. Let us see.
Yes sir.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes,
Yes sir.
Okay. Yeah. Am I audible to you, right, all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
yes. Loud and clear, sir.
Loud and clear, no problem sir.
Okay, thanks.
Nitin sir, it will be I'll be thankful if I get an opportunity to introduce, because he's colleague and we know him since
Okay,
last
okay sir, no
15
problem sir. Santosh Sir, sir, you can continue, no problem at all.
I will be honored to introduce Dr. Praveen Ingre sir. So to the students, let me introduce to the students. All faculty know him as an international speaker, and he has delivered almost 30 to 40 talks throughout the country. And it has been a great contribution of Dr. Praveen Ingre throughout the country. He has been tremendously, he has given all the lecture series throughout the pandemic period. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the contribution, especially in India, basically. Dr. Praveen has been contributed in different aspects in different research areas. He has completed his B Pharmacy from Anuradha College of Pharmacy, M Pharmacy from Periyar Institute of Pharmacy, Tamil Nadu, Dr. MGR Medical University. He has worked for in different areas. He started his career in Maharashtra, and then later on he has shifted to the Malaysia University, and presently he is working as a senior lecturer over there. Sir is also editor to 3 to 4 research publications, research journals. Sir is also peer reviewer for at least 10 to 15 his journals is reviewer, and is itself editor for 2 journals. Also, sir is looking after 3 to 4 portfolios, and that has been assigned by that university particularly particular to the sir. Also, Praveen Ingre sir, basically he's been assigned to the different portfolios in India also. So he's associated to almost 5 to 6 universities in India also. So it is immense pleasure, sir, to have you for our students, to guide our students. So it will be pleasure listening you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting the invitation of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar University Faculty of Pharmacy. And I hope and extend that all the students will be benefited from the talk. Thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Santosh Shalke, for a nice introduction. Am I audible to you, right? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us start with the today's session. At the outset, I want to thanks to all the members of the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, Lonere, Maharashtra, and special thanks to my guru, Dr. Alulkar sir. He is the Dean, Faculty of Pharmacy, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, and all the principal, okay, Dr. Santosh Shelke, and all the other principals of this particular university, and all the students, those are attending this particular skills development, the session, and also the student development program particularly. Okay, so at the outset, I want to congratulate to the Dean School of your Faculty of Pharmacy, and also all the principal and all the staff involved in this particular program to initiate the development program, particularly for the student, for the betterment and to have the quality education, and to give and produce the professionals, those mainly required worldwide. Okay, and that is how I can start with my today's session now. So today we have the pharmacy skill development in a digital age. Okay, so later you will be getting more knowledge why I have given this particular, the title, the digital age, and the pharmacy skill development particularly. Okay, So this is the lacking particular the part in our Indian curriculum, and on that aspect how we can improve upon. Okay. And this particular lecture, how I tailored the content of this today's lecture, while considering all the the students of the pharmacy, right from the first year until your postgraduate, and those are also planning for your maybe the PhD, or maybe for the higher education. Okay. So this will be helpful for the student as well as the faculty members of the pharmacy, and they can learn something from this, like how they can improve their curriculum. Maybe they have some the revision in their curriculum. So what are the parts, what are the things, what are the sections, what are the components we need to think about for the better future for our students. So coming to the next point now. Okay, so as already we discussed that this is the initiative taken by your university on the World Pharmacist Day. Okay, so belated happy World Pharmacist Day to all of you. Okay, all the pharmacy student and all other audience, those are listening to this particular session. And this is the theme that we had this particular on the Pharmacist Day, that is pharmacy is the always trusted for your health. That was the actually theme for our World Pharmacist Day 2021, and that's how we celebrated the World Pharmacist Day. And every year that FIP is coming with the newer theme to educate the people, educate the society and public, like how they can take the care of their own health, and how they can improve the things, how they can take the medicine, and what is the role of pharmacists particularly. So in today's era, we can see like some people they are now aware like what is the role of pharmacist, comparing with the olden era. So FIP, if you're knowing about that, right, some of the student might be those are in first year, right? So just I will introduce you the FIP here, like is a International Pharmaceutical Federation. Okay, and it is the biggest one, is the biggest association, the body we can say, and it's having more than 4 millions of the pharmacies, those are working, those are the community pharmacists particularly, or maybe those are academics, and those are working in the industry. So altogether it's more than 4 millions now. So it's the biggest what we can say, the the association, the body, and that is always trying for the betterment of the community, and giving the different kind of services. One of the service you can see now, the many webinars are going on. It's a free of cost, and you can attain that while registering on their website, on the FIP, and that is how you improve your knowledge, and you can think about what the world is going, what world is moving towards what, and that is how we can improve upon the things, and we can improve obviously our skills accordingly. So this is just a disclaimer that this presentation is my own opinion, my own views, and whatever I learned from the pharmacy field, from over the years. And this presentation is not for the commercial use, okay, and it's my own thought. It's not related to my company IMU, okay, and it's just for education purpose, okay. So just I want to contribute. So for the betterment, like I want to contribute to you, I want to share my knowledge, and that is how we can improve the skills for the betterment. Okay, so just this is the introduction for my university, where I'm working from last 7 to 8 years almost now. Earlier I worked in India in R.C. Patel Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research for over the 8 years, and later I joined here in IMU in 2014. So this IMU is Malaysia's first and most established private medical and health sciences university with 29 years of dedicated focus in healthcare education particularly. And also IMU University has Setara 2019 rating that is given for the year of assessment of 2017 and 18, and we have received 6 stars and coming under the outstanding category with the mature university category among the Malaysia, particularly given by the Ministry of Health Malaysia. Okay, so we talk about the contribution. So as a pharmacist, as a professional, it's our duty and it's our responsibility, like how we dedicate our time for our profession and how we educate the people. Those are in our field, in our faculty particularly. Okay, so this is just my small contribution to those like the upcoming pharmacists. Those are very interested to learn something, the new facts, the new skills. Okay, so this is my YouTube channel, what I created, and that is again what I can say, like this is one type of skill I developed from the last in 1 or 2 years because of the COVID-19, and the things like we need to go forward and move to the next level, and that is the attempt I did here for the pharmacy student, to give them something that I can deliver to them in a right direction. Okay, so this is the YouTube channel. Maybe later on you can just scan this QR code and you can visit, and these are the particular lectures right from your diploma, the diploma in pharmacy, the B Pharm and M Pharm, and also up to the post graduation, and those are doing PhD particularly. Some of the lectures are relevant to them. Whenever we think about the publication, okay, whenever we think about the skills improvement, and also whenever we think about the publication in a good impact factor journals, or maybe the quality journals, so that kind of the lectures sessions you can get out of this particular YouTube channel. Okay, so again, one of the thing I want to share with you is like what particular skills I improve in this particular lockdown period. Okay, as I'm giving you the lecture on the skills development, right? So what skills I develop particularly in this pandemic period, like to develop the particular quote. So that might be the motivational quote for you. And with this particular session, if I'm able to motivate some of you, okay, in some aspects, so that I think like this is the success for this particular session for the pharmacy student. Okay, so make a plan, okay, set a goal and work smart and achieve your target. Okay, so smart meaning what? So smart should be like S for specific, okay, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for realistic, and in a timely manner. So that stands for T. Okay, so you should be specific with your target, that should be measurable, that should be not beyond your limit, so that should be achievable, it should be realistic. So you should dream, so you should dream, then only that dreams come true. If you're not dreaming, obviously you're not going to grow, and if you're not dreaming, you're not going to see what will be my future in the time period, in the coming time period. So that's how we need to think about the target. We need to work in a smarter way, and that's how we need to nurture our brain, and that's how whenever you have the correct the thought process, so thinking is very important, and that is the reason why you can see the critical thinking approach is also important, in the schooling itself. I'm not talking about the UG, the postgraduate student, but even though you can see the development of the critical thinking aspect in the childhood, in the student, those are going to their nursery, and also those are learning in their school timing, So that is the importance what we can see for the critical thinking. Another quote that is very relevant to this today's session is the live in present, think about future, and learn from reflecting on your experience. So this is again one of the talk I have given for one of the college in Maharashtra, is the self reflection. Okay, and I recommend that if you are in the growing phase, like in your first year, you should go through that. And even though if you're at the higher level also, you should go and see that particular video, and you can learn something like what mistakes we did in our past and how we can improve upon the things. So that is how we define the self reflection. So analyzing yourself in your own way, okay, that is for improvement, right? So everything, the self reflection that we are doing for improvement, and we see what are the mistakes we did in our past, okay, and that's how we improve upon the things and go to the next. Mistakes all the time is not acceptable, okay, and that's how you can add the value to your organization where you work, okay. So that is the reason why you need to nurture your mind to have the correct thinking process, okay, and that's how you need to practice, you need to develop your character and go to the next level, okay. So first of all, I want to congratulate to everyone, all the dear participants, okay. So because you come to the right profession where we have the pharmacy as the worldwide recognized as a noble profession, okay. So that is how we don't have any limited role. So if you think about the pharmacy, we have many opportunities. I will just show you highlights, like what are the opportunity we have. I don't go in much detail on that, but I can focus mainly on the skills development here, okay. So already you know about the purpose of this student development your particular this session, right? Objectives and learning outcomes. And obviously this session is mainly about the skills development. So knowing the background of the participants, I will try to give some examples that will be beneficial for the student as well as the faculty members, those are attending this particular session, And why I given this background, all the codes and all the background information, is to have the proper communication, because I want to prepare your mind, okay. Instead of the communicating directly with the session, I want to prepare your mind, and that's how I quoted here the prepare mind and the prepared mind. So when we as a teacher, if we have the prepared mind of the student, then we can connect in a very easy way to them, okay. And that is how we can communicate, we can easily communicate with them, we can easily connect with them. So that is how I want to prepare your mind first, and once I prepared your mind for the session, I can start with the content of the topic. Another thing is, like already you started as a student the journey of your pharmacy, so that is how today I as a resource person, I'm delivering the content to you, right? And I'm reaching to you. So that is the initiative taken by your university and the faculty of pharmacy and the dean, and that is how I am reaching to you, and you ultimately will reach to other people, right? So you are reaching to your friends, you are reaching to your colleagues, those are working with you, and that is how that we can spread that knowledge to the community, society and public for the betterment of the pharmacy. And that is how we should have the sustainability in our profession, and that is one of the goal given by the FIP. So later we will discuss what are the goals, different goals given by the FIP, and how as a pharmacist we can achieve that particular goals, that goals given by the FIP worldwide, and that what they are expecting from us as a pharmacist, okay. So going to the background, why I have selected this topic particularly, okay. So ultimately, okay, just I am requesting all the participants to please mute their mic, okay. So yeah, please. Okay, thank you. So please mute your mic first. All the participants, I'm requesting you to mute the mic so that all others members can, So starting with the background of this particular topic is why this topic, the skills development. So if you think about our Indian curriculum, so some of the things as a teacher we need to think about, like what parameters, what are the components we are missing in our curriculum, and how we can inoculate that particular type of things, or maybe we can cultivate that type of culture in our student, and that's why I have selected this particular pharmacy skills development for the student. Okay, and that is again the need of time, because the world is moving towards that, the skills development. So whatever the degree you have, that is ultimately will help you, but up to certain level of time. So after that, the lifelong learning process, the self-directed learning process, the critical thinking, and all other soft skills that will be helpful for you for your lifelong. So that is how we need to know what is our need and why we need to have this particular topic. So as you know that the world is very competitive nowadays, and many of us we are trying for the jobs, but sometime we need to think about, are we going in a right direction? So for example, like whenever you come to the pharmacy, whenever you get your admission in your pharmacy in your first year, that time onwards, I think you should need to think about, okay, what I'm going to do in my future. You should not be blindly following the way the others are doing. So that is how you need to see how the world is moving, how we are competent enough. So how the competency will be evaluated? It's not only evaluated by the assessment that you have at your end of semester, or maybe at your the exam whenever you have at your end of the year, or maybe the semester if you have that, right? So again, the skills also matter. And again, many publications are there that showing that the skills are as important as like whatever the CGPA or the GPA, whatever the score pattern you have in your university or in your school, right? So again, coming to the pharmacy curriculum, right? So are we enough to give that particular skills development knowledge to our students or not? Okay, so ultimately everything we cannot put on in the pharmacy curriculum, okay, because of the limitation, lots of limitation, and the subject, like how many subjects we have in per semester, or maybe in the per year, right? So but the student can always improve upon the things by attending the workshop, by attending the different kind of webinars, the conference, and that is how they can go to the next level by not only depend on the pharmacy curriculum, not only depend on the lecturer. Okay, so all the time you can't depend on the lecturer, that okay, our lecturer not taught our this particular subject and things like that. Okay, because it's not possible all the times to deliver the content to you in the classroom, right? So whenever we think about the traditional versus the modern teaching, so as we know that in traditional teaching, we used to like lecturer or our teacher used to have the blackboard and the chalk. Okay, so but nowadays, like if you think about the modern teaching, right, we improved a lot, and we have a lot of platforms, and we are interacting online, so there is no need to go face to face. I can sit here in Malaysia, and same time you can learn something from me, at the same time I can also learn from you. So that is how we share the knowledge from each other, right? So learning from each other is also very good, important aspect. Even though I am also learning many things from the international speakers, I am also attending the different kind of conferences and webinars, and how I communicate with them, right? And that is how I can learn something from them and improve the skills that where I'm lacking. Okay, so ultimately, if you think about all the sub points here, the subtitles, we need to have the long-term strategies. We need to have the vision. Okay, as a teacher, as a student, we need to think about the future, what the world is going, where the world is moving, what our international bodies are doing for the pharmacy, and what they are expecting from us as a pharmacy professionals. Okay, so just there is the the picture I have given here, the pictograms, like, the pharmacy symbol, and whenever the student is getting graduate, okay, maybe the diploma or maybe the graduation or maybe the post-graduation and the doctorate degree, but only the thing, like, it won't help you for a long duration of time, even though you get a good job, right? But skills improvement and lifelong learning will be helpful for you to sustain in the field of pharmacy. Okay, because everyone is coming with the new skills, the competition is there every day, and that's how you need to survive in the competition. And that is the need why we have this pharmacy skill development program here. And maybe I want to give some sort of knowledge that will motivate you to think about what we can do in our life and how we can move forward, right? So coming to the pharmacy field again, like, just the data from the Government of India, Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers, the Department of Pharmaceutical, annual report 2019 and 20. So what they think about the pharmacy and what the world is thinking about us, and the pharmaceutical industry, particularly the Indian origin, right? We call as the pharmacy of the world, right? And that is mentioned in the annual report of the Government of India, the Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizers. Okay, so as you know that we have the largest provider of generic drugs globally. Okay, so that's how we recognize worldwide. And again, ultimately, if you look at the Indian scenario, most of our students, they want to go with the industry, right? So they want to have the good job in industry, rather focusing on the community pharmacy, especially if they do their the undergraduate course, the B Pharm, or maybe the PharmD and other course, right? So they want to do particularly the job that is related with the pharmaceutical industry instead of going to the community site or the hospital. And the part of the reason is that the role of the clinical pharmacist or maybe the specialized pharmacist is not that recognized at the Indian setup, right? So that is the one of the reason why our students wants to always go to the industry, right? Somehow they don't develop their interest in the community side or maybe at the clinical side or maybe at the hospital side. Okay, but nowadays there are many opportunities are coming, and also the Pharmacy Council of India, right? And our the president, Dr. B. Suresh, is also working towards the improvement of the health in India, particularly, having the clinical pharmacist role at the hospital side, right? So another thing is just I want to mention here the access to the affordable HIV treatment. So that is the greatest success story in the medicine. You can think about whenever you think about the role of our Indian pharmaceutical industry in the medicine, right? And again, there is the biggest suppliers of the low-cost vaccine in the world, and also we already proved that thing in the COVID-19 scenario, right? So we already provided the vaccines to the rest of the world at the lower cost, right? So medicines are preferred worldwide because of their low price and also the high quality. So that is the characteristic and the feature we can have with our Indian scenario. And whenever it comes with the economy, like we contribute around 1.72% country's GDP whenever it comes with the economy of India, right? So these are the just for your information, like what are the things we have in our pharmacy, right from the diploma and until we can do the PharmD, B Pharm, pharmacy practice course is also the practice course, right? The B Pharm practice and post-baccalaureate course we have, and we have other UG programs, right? So some of the specialization I have given here, and after that you can do your PhD and also the postdoctorate and also the research fellow. Okay. So going to the next particular, our subtitle is the introduction for the pharmacy skills development, right? So now you're thinking about what skills as a pharmacist I need to develop, right? So you need to think about first what skills I'm lacking, So you need to have your SWOT analysis. What are my strengths? What are opportunities I'm having? What are the weakness and traits I'm having? Okay. So we need to analyze ourselves first. We need to have the self-reflection all the times with the different interval. And that is how we are assessing ourselves, like what skills I need to improve upon to get the better opportunity in the industry, or maybe at the hospital side, maybe at the clinical side, or maybe at the community side, or wherever you're looking for the job, right? So there are many, different kind of search engines are also available nowadays, and where you can see the description, what skills they are expecting from their employee, So all the time, like most of us, we are trying to have the job in a good company, and also the better salary. That is the basic requirement, and the how we go with the flow. That is the thing, right? But only very few of us, we will try about the entrepreneur, or we try to give the jobs to others. So that reality we need to accept. So there are many other barriers, like why we should not, why we are not going to that level particularly, but we need to think about like where we are lacking and what skills we need to improve. So timely manner, you need to have your self-reflection, and that is how you can think about what skills you need to acquire. So that might be the communication skill, okay? And that is very important in every sector. Wherever you go, there should be a good communication. If you are a good communicator, obviously you have the better future, and you have the better confidence. And when the confidence will come, right, if you have the knowledge, and if you have the reliable resources, if you have the right direction where to progress in your life, so if you have that direction, if you have the mentor, if you have the guide, if you have the teacher, that will teach you the right direction, the right the path you need to follow. So obviously you need to improve upon the things, and by that way you also know what is my lacuna, where I'm lacking and where I need to improve upon. Okay. So for example, if you see today I'm a student, so where I want to be after 5 years or after 10 years. So you set a target. Okay. So obviously you are working towards that. And once you are looking for that, for example, I can see the leaflet of this particular SDP, right? The student development program. And I can see some of the I think one of the lecture is related with the competitive exam, right? So that competitive exam, if someone is, trying for that, so obviously you need to prepare for that. So what are the resources you need for that? So that you need to look upon the basic particular criteria, the basic things, right? And that's how you can overcome on that particularly, right? So skills development is not the thing like, I'm taking one session and in 1 hour you can learn everything about the skills, what skills you need to improve. So it's a lifelong learning, like a reading of books. So if you are reading books, you will learn something from that. If I am delivering some content from my side, you are learning something from me, right? If you are interacting with me, obviously I will also learn something from you, right? So that is the attitude we should build in ourselves, to learn from each other, to learn from our mistakes. So we need to accept our own mistakes and try to avoid that mistakes. So if you are having that type of attitude, obviously the lifelong learning will be very easy for you, and ultimately you won't have the trouble in your future, right? So again, one of the thing I want to tell you here is the experience, right? So maybe like experience is matters, but until up to a certain extent, right? So whenever I'm a teacher, right, I'm a lecturer, I'm a senior lecturer in university, but only the thing is not like I'm only teaching to the student, but all other times what I'm going to do with the society, with the betterment of the future of the society or for the student. Okay, that is also matter. So that is how we define the years in experience in years and value addition. So other than your curriculum, other than your the work you are doing in your usual life, right? what other activity you're doing that really will give the value addition to your organization where you work. As a student, it's not only limited to your textbook, it's not limited to your only classroom, but other than that, what value you're adding in yourself. So you're investing your time somewhere to learn something, right? So that is how we define value addition. So always you need to thrive for the next level to get something, some knowledge from the someone, maybe from your teacher, maybe for your from your parents, the friends, or maybe textbook, maybe you're reading something, right? Maybe you're attending some seminar. So that is how you're adding some value to yourself to ultimately help to your organization, and ultimately you're educating, awareing the people about the pharmaceutical education, right? So again, another thing is the pharmacy curriculum, like what we discussed earlier, like everything we are not able to add on in the pharmacy curriculum. And whenever it comes with the content and delivery, always we need to think about the application base, right? And this is again one of the important aspect we need to look upon. Whenever we teach to the student, we are teaching the theoretical things, but maybe like some lecturers or the teachers, they're adding some part of the teaching where you can apply really that knowledge. So application of the knowledge is very much important, right? So it's not about only the thinking about the formulation, like how you prepare the syrup, but at the same time, you should know that why I'm preparing that and what is the rationale for doing that particular method, why I'm adding that all particular content in that, and then how it will be helpful for the patient in what aspect. Why only syrup? Why not other formulation, the tablet or capsule? And why we have a different kind of formulation? Okay, so this is a very basic thing that whenever you come to the pharmacy, you should know that, like how we improve our skills or maybe the knowledge, we can say. And that is how we should have the self-directed learning. So all the time, we cannot rely on the lecturer or the teacher, but at the same time we need to have the self-directed learning, means initiate yourself, take the responsibility and take own initiative to have the good learning process. Okay, so as you know that there are skills. Okay, so what type of skills are there, right? So there are what we can say, how we can segregate is the hard skill and the soft skill. So hard skill is the skill, like the technical competency and the knowledge required for a particular job function that determine through your education and the work history, right? So if you pass your B.Pharm, so your basic education, the hard skill you develop is the undergraduate, right? And if you have any working experience, so that will come obviously in the hard skill. And whenever you think about the soft skill, is the like desirable qualities, like that may include also include your sense, right? It's a common sense, the ability to deal with the people, like how you communicate, that is coming under the interpersonal skill. Like if you have your own community pharmacy, like how you manage your staff, if you are the in charge, if you are the head of the institute, how you are managing your manpower in a correct way, in a right direction, that is also matter. So that's how we develop our soft skill to have the interpersonal skills, right? How to deal with the people, how to communicate in a proper way, how to have the positive flexible attitude. Okay, so you should be flexible enough to go to the next level, and that is how we define under the adaptability. So how we are enough to adapt something, right? Like we have the classroom teaching before our COVID-19. So once the COVID-19 came in 2019 year end, we shifted all our teaching to the online, the virtual platform, and that is how the adaptability role comes in. Okay, at the same time you're improving, you're taking a challenge, you're overcoming on the challenge from the COVID-19, and you're taking that challenge as the opportunity, and that is how that opportunity you're going and utilizing to have the better outcome, the better future, right? So you should be flexible, you should have the positive flexible attitude, not depend on acquired knowledge. Okay, so that's how you need to see what skills I'm having. You need to improve upon that, and at the same time, whenever you're going for the interview, you should know that how I can sell my soft skill, to the interviewer. So how to crack your job interview. So I won't go in much detail, just I will explain the things very shortly here. Okay, so how you can write your resume or maybe the CV, right? So basically we have the qualification, the professional objective you have in your profession, right? And also the experience, the value addition, like how you can give the value to your organization once you join that organization, right? Problem solving. So as you know that, experience sometimes is matter, but if you don't have value addition, if you don't have the problem solving skill, ultimately the interviewer will not much think about you as the good candidate to be selected, right? So whenever you think about like those are, the post of managerial side, and so they don't think about much about your qualification or what is your CGPA and things like that, but rather they will focus on what you did in your past life, in your past academic year, right? In your past particular in your experience. So that is how the role of value addition and the problem solving, how you are able to solve the problem in a nicer way, in a correct way, in a right direction, that matters. And that's how the role of value addition, problem solving is much important. And I think so that you should think about that, and you should improve whenever you are lacking something. And that is how, if you achieve that, obviously you will get honors, you will get awards, and you will get recognition. That might be at the national level, and that might spread to the worldwide whenever you have the good popularity in your profession, right? So special skills also you can develop, like the presentation skill. The presentation skill is one of them, right? So how you are presenting, how you are convincing the people, so just now I think one of the session you attended about the marketing, right? So many of us will think about, like, if you don't have that type of convincing skills, or maybe the good presentation skill, maybe you will not have that confidence to talk to the physician, right? So that's how you should develop your clinical skill, the knowledge ultimately, and that is how you can get enough confidence to communicate, to have the proper conversation to your senior staff, right? And obviously you're giving some references in your CV, right? So this is again one of the the literature I can see, like the hard evidence on the soft skill. Okay, so in this particular one of the article published here, they have given the importance of the soft skill and how it is important for the student to get a good job, or maybe to improve upon the things. Okay, so don't limit yourself. Okay, and if you have the right thinking, obviously you need to practice that. Okay, so practice the thing that you have in your mind, make a habit of that. So whatever you're doing the practice, make a habit of that, and that is how your character is built, and that is how you will be known by the people around you, around your profession. Okay, and again, once you have that character, you will get a destination that you are looking upon, or whatever the vision you have to reach that destination, and ultimately you will get the wisdom out of that. Okay, and that is how the spirituality role comes here in the pharmacy. And again, that is again one of the skills I can say. The spirituality is not only limited at the the other side, but again it is coming to the pharmacy profession. Okay, and how we can build a profession in a ethical way, in a professional way. So be your own edition, rather I cannot say like limited edition. Okay, so be your own edition and learn from reflecting on your experience. Okay, and as you know that if there is no challenge, there is no success. Rather I can say, know your challenges, ultimately know your success, right? So as you're moving forward and going to the higher version, as we know that everyone is having the mobile phone, right? And that's why we are in digital age. We have the mobile phone, and ultimately we are, what we can say, the updating our software all the time for the mobile, right? And that is how we go to the next level, the higher version of that particular, the phone. And again, same it is applies to the human being also. Whenever you go to the next level, you update yourself by having the good knowledge, by reading, by having the good reading habit, the critical thinking, right? The self-directed learning. So ultimately you will feel self-confidence, you will have that particular confidence, but don't change that self-confidence to the arrogance. So this is again one of the skill of what I can say. The self-confidence is good instead of having the arrogance. So because sometimes the arrogance lead to the other side instead of giving you the confidence. And sometimes the people won't listen to others, won't ready to accept their mistakes if they have the arrogance. And as we know that for our session also, we used to have the the feedback from the participants, from the student, whenever we have the lecture, right? And that is how we work upon our mistakes to go to the next level. And that is the way, like we should be open-minded, right? So ultimately we are cultivating the humility. So it's not only related with the humbleness, but at the same time, whenever you are at in difficult situation, you are taking a help from others, and your colleagues are also ready to help you. So that is how we need to cultivate the humility in our pharmacy profession. So talking, listening, and learning. So again, this is a one type of experiential learning where I'm talking here with you, and I'm a resource person today, and you're listening and you're gaining some knowledge, you're learning something. But at the same time, if I'm learning from others something, or maybe I'm interacting with the participants, and that is how I improve upon the things, and I can learn from each other, right? So also we learn from each other whenever we have the good interaction. Okay. And compare with the today's scenario, like all the teaching, what we can see in the lecture or maybe in the practical, it's an interactive type of teaching. So it's not only like lecturer is talking, but at the same time the student also need to open their mouth and need to talk with the teacher to have the better learning process, to have the better environment for the learning, right? So that's how talking, listening, and learning is important. And you should be a good listener if you are a pharmacist, if you are a clinical pharmacist, if you are a community pharmacist. And that is how you build up your experiential learning capabilities, right? So you are getting experience of the people, those are residing in the society, and that's how you learn something from them, right? So learn from everyone, learn from your own mistakes, and you can improve upon the things. And next to that is take ownership of your own learning. That is very important with the student perspective, particularly. If you are not reliable, if you are not, you are not not reliable, I cannot say that, but if you are not depend always to on the others, you can take ownership of your own learning, and that is how you can improve upon the things. So are we doing everything for money? So money is not everything, particularly. So when we remember the oath of our pharmacist, right? Should I trespass and violate this oath, may the reverse be my lot, right? So we should always remember our pharmacist oath, right? For the betterment of the patient and betterment of the pharmaceutical care, okay, whenever it comes with the patient side, right? So again, going through this particular FIP, the International Pharmaceutical Federation, okay, what aim they have in their mind for the worldwide region of the pharmacist, right? So particularly what mission they have, what vision they have for the pharmacist. So the FIP mission is to assist the pharmacist wherever they live and practice, right, in the delivering of medicine, and also the health products and services that will improve medicine use and also the advanced patient care. Okay, so ultimately we are working together with the betterment of the future of the patient and also to improve upon the quality of life, particularly for the patient. And what vision the FIP is having, the core competency of the community pharmacist across the globe can be distilled into 4 unique skills that should be prescribe, okay, dispense, administer, and review. But again, I can see the reality, what's going on in most of the country, like, the pharmacist is not that well enough skilled to give the vaccination to the patient. Okay, so that is also applies to the Indian origin. But again, if you see the Western countries, the pharmacist is well enough trained to give the vaccine to the patient. Okay, and that is how they improved upon the things, they improved their skills. Okay, so maybe in the future we need to think about the extension of the role of the pharmacist to not only dispense, to not only counsel, to not only lifestyle modification of the patient, but to have the specific skill role to give the the vaccination to the people those are in need. So sometimes we think about the worldwide region, like still some of the country, they don't have the enough the quantity of the vaccine to be delivered to their patient, to their population particularly. So that's how the equity and the equality role comes here in with the FIP goal particularly, right? So coming to the next point, these are the goals that FIP is set for all the pharmacies, the pharmacy profession. Okay, so I think it will take much time if I mention you one by one all the things, but just I want to highlight you here is the academic capacity. Okay, so we should have the academic capacity to train the student enough, the academic capacity to train the student to go to the next level, to have the quality education for the pharmacy professions. So that is the goal the FIP is having, and that is the priority they are setting. Early career training strategy. So we should have the training strategy for the student, those are looking for the job. We should maintain our quality assurance. Okay, we need to have the advanced specialist development. Okay, for example, it's not very easy to give the example for all because it will take much time. So advanced and specialist development is like, the community pharmacy. If you think about that, it's not the community pharmacy role to dispense the medicine, but it is all about what other screening activity you are having at your doorstep or maybe at the community site, like, diabetes, the counseling about the lifestyle, the counseling about the hormonal contraceptives, the problems in the ladies, particularly the women's, those having the problems. Sometimes they are not, ready to communicate, and that's how they have the complications in their life, right? And as a pharmacist, as a professional, we need to look upon that area where our service is needed, and there we can give the service, and ultimately out of that we are getting the economic particularly gain. Okay, competency development again is one of the skills development is there, right? So that's how we develop our competency. The leadership development, whenever you have the presentation, for example, if you have the student life, right, maybe you have some presentation in your curriculum, right, and that is how you get a leadership quality build up in yourself. Okay, try to not shy, try to not get afraid, like what will happen if I did mistake or something like that. So if you have that particular quality, ultimately you will develop a good leadership quality. If you have the good presentation quality, if you have the confidence, if you have the knowledge, and if you are ready to accept your mistakes, advancing integrated services and working with others, the integrated approach, this is very important. So if you are thinking about to develop any mobile app, For example, I will give just one example here. If you want to develop any mobile app, so ultimately the pharmacy student, you have the limited knowledge, right? But if you are collaborating with others like the engineering student, ultimately you will get some integration in your mobile applications, right? And that is how you can develop some app for the patient, some app for the general public, that will be helpful for them to go to have that particular utilization of that app, right? Continuing the professional development, always like the attending different conferences, the workshop, right? And that's how you can involved in CPD. Might be the participant, might be the resource person, and that's how you improve upon the things, right? Equity and equality. I given the example like vaccine is not reached still in some of the countries, right? So that's how we in pharmacy as a profession, as the government might be, they need to think about the equity and also the equality to help each other, to help the other countries also, what we can say, right? And that is how we have the equity and equality in the health, and that is a right, we can say, the right of every individual to get a right medicine to the at the minimum cost. Okay, impact and outcome. So whatever the things you do, ultimately there should be some impact or maybe the outcome. And pharmacy intelligence mainly dealing with the what we can say, the artificial intelligence is there, and what are the new things, the digital health, we have the telehealth, we have the telemedicine, we have a lot of examples are there, right? That's come under the pharmacy intelligence, right? And again, the next one is the policy development. We develop a policy for the betterment of the future, like for example is the ICMR guideline, Indian Council of Medical Research, right? They have their own policy. So every country, like in Malaysia, we have the Ministry of Health guidelines. For example, like type 2 diabetes mellitus, we have the guideline like how to initiate the treatment regimen for the patient, how to deal with the patient with the chronic illness, with the cancer and types of cancer, So that's how it will be helpful for developing a policy. And once you develop that policy particularly, or maybe the rules and regulation, that will be helpful to give the medicine to all the worldwide region, right? So that policy we need to think about as a professional, okay? And as a medicine expert, we need to spread our knowledge regarding the medicine to the patient for the betterment. People-centered care, as you know that there are many things are coming nowadays, like if you think about the novel drug delivery system, there are like precision medicine is coming there, personalized medicine is coming there, right? Nowadays the cost is much, but still in the coming time we can see the relief from that, okay? Communicable disease, obviously COVID-19 is one of the communicable disease, and how we are managing that condition, so working each other, working with one another and working in a team, that ultimately will help us in a long run. And that is how we can reach to our vision, Antimicrobial stewardship, like we need to aware to the people, don't take unnecessary the antibiotics and things like that, right? So if we follow the guidelines, if we follow the policy that developed by the higher authority, ultimately we have the better outcome, the health outcome will be better for the patient, right? And ultimately sometimes the patients are not having the access to the medicine, maybe the poor people, or maybe those people are not having the good compliance, what we can say, the medication compliance, right? So ultimately for medication compliance, what we can do as a professional, that also we need to think about. Patient safety, there are many things to talk about the patient safety. One of the thing I will just mention here is the pharmacovigilance, right? So pharmacovigilance also is coming under the patient safety, as we are trying to minimize the adverse drug reaction in the people, right? Again is the digital health. So that is our topic that we are going to see here, digital health, like how FIP is working on that and how they collected the information, the survey, the largest survey we can see in the worldwide region, and what particular competency we have as a pharmacy professional in our field, and where we want to inoculate that particular things in our pharmacy curriculum might be in the future. So that's we talk about in the digital health. And ultimately we should have the sustainability in the pharmacy. So world is very competitive. You need to improve upon your skills, and you need to go to the higher level to achieve that all the times. And that's how we should have the sustainability. So if you are having the proper skills, like what we discussed earlier, ultimately you have the sustainability in your profession, or ultimately your place will be taken by other people, right? So what are the job opportunity we have in pharmacy? Okay, just the glance of the various sectors we will go in that. The multi-dimensional role of pharmacist. So why I'm telling the multi-dimensional here, the role of pharmacist is not limited to one pharmaceutical industry or any particular, the sector. So it's a multi-sector, the multi-dimensional role is there, and it is very well, given by the PCI, like how the pharmacist working in the different sector. Okay. Again, another thing is like WHO, like they mention about the patient safety, like there should be a no harm to the patient in the health sector. Okay, so these are the opportunity we have as a pharmacist in our the sector, like education, hospital, community, preclinical, clinical, industry, jobs at the abroad, government job, and entrepreneur. So always you can go clockwise or maybe go the anti-clockwise. Okay, so most of the people will go clockwise, as I mentioned earlier, but some of us can go also anti-clockwise to have the entrepreneur and give the opportunity to other to work, and also give the job to the other pharmacy profession. Okay, so just we'll go very shortly, like what are the opportunity we have in the education. Okay, so these are the opportunity we have in the education, right from the academics, and go to the next level is the higher study, or maybe the integrative or collaborative research approach, jobs at abroad, or maybe you can act as a editor-in-chief. The publication might be it's a journal, or maybe it's a book publication, right? So that is how we correlate it with the education. The hospital pharmacist, okay, we have a lot of hospital pharmacists. When we compare with the Western countries, particularly, we don't have that much of specialization in the clinical pharmacist, like diabetes specialist, or maybe the renal specialist, endorenal specialist, something like that. But now the role of clinical pharmacist is upcoming in the Indian scenario, right? So these are the things we have in the government side as well as in the private sector for the hospital pharmacist. Okay, community pharmacy, obviously we can have our own pharmacy, that might be the retail or maybe the government job, at the various particular organization. We can have our own patient counseling center, right? The master of counseling, right? Nowadays, like master of counseling is also very booming area where we can have the counseling of the patient. Okay, so that is also you can improve your skill, the communication skill, obviously, right? The preclinical, clinical, we have a lot of sectors here, right from the drug discovery to the clinical research, the pharmacovigilance, the medical devices, the regulatory affairs. Okay, coming to the artificial intelligence and also the machine learning, right? Again, going to the next level is the jobs at abroad. So that might be the hospital, community setup, or maybe the academic, and also you can start your own consultancy to guide to others, right? Another thing is like industry, also we have, as we discussed, like with the other aspect, like preclinical and clinical, right? We have the different kind of approach, different positions in the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, the government jobs, mainly from the academic sector, the education, right from until the clinical pharmacies, the pharmaceutical industry, the government also jobs are there, the UPSC and the state PSC, right? Another thing is like entrepreneur. So should I get a job or start my own business? So as an entrepreneur, you can plan your own community pharmacy, might be industry, pharmaceutical industry, might be you have your own academic center, institute, or maybe have your own deem or deemed to be university. Okay, so that is how you can fly in the pharmacy field. Okay, so this is just a short recap. Might be you have learned something from the other sessions also. So coming to the skills development here. So what are the skills we need to improve upon in our upcoming pharmacists? So whenever you think about the excellence in pharmacy, I always believe in ABCD. What are the ABCD of the pharmacy? So first of all, you should have the practice with the absorption. So practice, practice, and practice. So practice makes you perfect. And whenever you do with the absorption, ultimately you are gaining something, right? So excellence comes where there is a practice with the absorption. And again, your belief is also matters. So what you believe in yourself, that is also matter, and that's how you can see your growth in coming time. If you have the right belief, if you have the right confidence, that's how you can make an excellence in any field. It's not only in pharmacy, but even though in your social life, if you have the right belief, you can go to the excellence, towards the excellence, right? Again, it's depend on the company. So if you have the good company, ultimately you can reach to the excellence in any field. Okay, the good friend circle. Okay, and obviously for that you should have the good determination. Okay, so if you have the good determination, then all other things will be very, very possible, very easier for you. Right? So this is one of the example, like one of the paper, recently published, like how the skills are important compared to the knowledge of the student. So if you have the GPA or the CGPA in your curriculum, okay, so that is, as I mentioned you earlier, will be helpful for you for a certain period of time. But at the same time, you need to look upon your skills, like where you want to improve and what skills you want to have for the better future. So if you want to launch your rocket at the right place, okay, you should combine, you should blend your hard skill with your soft skill. So there should be a blend. Like you might be heard about the terminology like blended learning, right? So blended learning is also important in our teaching. Wherever we combine the conventional teaching along with the innovation in the teaching, like the flipped classroom, right? So you might be aware about those particular terminology, like how we combine our hard skill and soft skill to improve upon. Again, the communication skill is one of that, right? Job related skills, and also the positive energy. So if you have the positive energy, ultimately it will reflect in you, and that is how there will be a good chances for your growth if you have the positive approach, right? So at the same time, as I mentioned you earlier, the self-reflection, you will be knowing your strength, weakness, opportunity, and limitation, and that is how it will come from the self-reflection. So if you have the good reflection habit, ultimately you are knowing your weakness, your strength, opportunity, and what are your limitation. So you have the smart working capability in that aspect, right? So it's a specific, measurable, achievable, and then you should do in a timely manner, right? So, and that is how we define the smartness, right? Job related skills, obviously you need to have the qualification. Okay, you need to have the good research, the ICT tools, the information communication tools are there, and obviously you can learn many things from the your teacher by having the innovative teaching, and also by having the extracurricular activity, right? Another job-related skills is the patient-centered care. Whenever you work in community hospital, you can provide the advanced services. Like what I mentioned just now is the hormonal contraceptive counseling, right? Diabetic counseling, the hypertension counseling, and many more. The list is more, right? Computerized database. So you should be competent enough to operate the different kind of software that might be related with the drug interaction checking, that might be related with the e-prescription, the telemedicine, the telehealth, and many more to say about that. Promotional activities, as a good entrepreneur, you should have that particular skills to have the promotion at your doorstep to attract many customers to, but always you need to follow the ethics and professionalism, right, with the patient safety aspect. Okay, and that is how we can have the training program for them, the community pharmacy, the hospital pharmacy, right. Right now we have the in Maharashtra, we have the FDP for the faculty members, particularly for the community pharmacy. Okay, as one of the mentor in that, we are organizing the workshop, the FDP for them, and that is how we look for the betterment of the community, right. Job related skills, especially for the pharmaceutical industry, you need to see the global scenario, various guidelines, the policies, evidence, right. Ultimately the training workshop you need to attend. What are the innovation you can do in your in your job, in your daily routine job, right. Extracurricular activity for your organization. Okay, these are the top skills. What I can say, one of the top skill is the effective communication, right. The time management is very important, and that is how you look your future for the betterment, right. So you need to do all the things in a timely manner. Okay, you should have the positivity, enthusiasm, confidence, integrity, many more are there, the top skills, right. So maybe later on you can go through along with this, like you should be very reliable, right. So you should be reliable with your organization. You should be value add, you should add some value to your organization. You should motivate your colleagues. Okay, instead of motivating yourself, you should motivate yours to the colleagues also. That is also one of the skill, what we can say, resourcefulness. Okay, so you can teach to your colleagues, to your friends, and to your the other society members. So that is how we define the resourcefulness here, right. So these are the skills what we can see we should expect from the community pharmacy, maybe the clinical, maybe the pharmacies, those are working in the different the institute, maybe the pharmaceutical industry, and all over the other areas, right. So these are the communication skills, like what we should be open-minded, we should be a good listener, right. Somewhere I already included this type of the skills, right. Non-verbal skills, the presentation, the clarity, right. So this comes all under the communication. The positive attitude, so you should be happiness, you should share your happiness, the confidence, optimism, and other type of encouraging, that is also coming under the positive attitude. Professionalism, like obviously the leadership quality. Okay, respect to the others. Okay, so give respect, take respect. So that comes under that particular leadership quality. Okay, mentoring, obviously you're mentoring to someone, maybe your student, maybe your colleague. Okay, the junior colleague. So that's how you develop your professionalism. Work ethics is also a self-motivation, and how you do your work, your daily work in a right direction, in an ethical way. Okay, and how you communicate with the others, how you committed to them, how you are dedicated to them, how you have determination in your life. Okay, so that all comes under the work ethics. Integrity is like having the moral ethics. You should be focused while you're doing your job. So dedication is much important. Doing that, attentiveness, if you are listening something, like how attentive you are, like how honest you are. So honesty is also one of the skill we can see in the integrity. Teamwork is like how work together, like if you are a pharmacist, how you can collaborate with the hospital staff, how you can collaborate with the nursing staff, how you have the collaboration with the doctor, how you have the good rapport with the patient. Okay, so that all the type of skills comes under the teamwork. And the courtesy, you have the business etiquette, the manners, the politeness in your in your conversation, the humility, how you cultivate that. So that all other the skills including the patience is very important. So patience, listening to the others, patience listening to the pharmacy, the other pharmacists, patients listening to the other patient, that is also matters in this particular skills. And at the same time, if you do any mistakes, don't afraid to get apologize for that, so say sorry. So there is no there should not be any ego, while saying sorry to others if you are having the mistake. So that all comes under the courtesy, responsibility. As the medicine expert, you should be responsible person, and whenever you have the responsibility, ultimately you get the good rapport. And that responsibility comes when you have the dependability, you have the common sense, and you have the maturity, right? So that's how you develop your responsibility. The flexibility, again, what we can say is a lifelong learning process. Whenever you have the adjustability, whenever you adjust with your colleague, whenever they are in difficult situation, you are helping them, right? So that is how the adaptability role comes in. Your already willingness to have the help to the others, okay? You have improving yourself, might be you're in your teaching, might be whenever you're giving training to someone. So that all comes under the flexibility, right? And the last one is the social. So social, mainly you have the the personality consideration, you have the friendliness while talking with the patient, you don't have the arrogance. So as I mentioned you earlier, the self-confidence and arrogance these are the different kind of things. So self-confidence is always better for you compared to the arrogance. And when we have the self-confidence, we can build a good rapport with the patient, and that's how we can have the good what we can say, the growth in economic sector whenever you come with the community pharmacy role in the community, right? So these are the things we can expect from the future pharmacist, okay? The future prospects. So these are the passion leads to innovation. So these are the some of the quotes I have given here. The passion leads innovation. So whenever you have the passion towards your profession, ultimately you're thinking something different, you're having the critical thinking, and at the same time you have the some passion to do your work in a correct way, right? Positive thinking makes creativity. So if you think in a positive way, ultimately you're thinking something, you're creating some new environment for the betterment. Developing new skills. So why we develop new skills? So because we get distracted from our daily worries, so that is how we develop our new skills for the betterment, right? Where does research start? So wherever there is a question mark, wherever there is an unknown, from there the research starts, right? So it's as simple as that, right? Where does the research start? So wherever you see the question mark, wherever you don't know the answer, so instead of doing whatever the known to all the society, the public, you should try something different, you should try something new that the world is unknown about, and then you can think about your future, and that is how you can grow in a positive way, right? Future opportunities for the pharmacist. Ultimately, if you know the worldwide growth, you knows what are the opportunity we have as a pharmacist. So as I mentioned you earlier, it's a multi-dimensional role of a pharmacist, is not only limited to some extent, right? So you need to develop your skills in a correct manner to have the opportunity in all the other sectors, right? So ultimately, you are comparing that thing with the local, national, and also the global perspective. Okay. Again, coming to the FIP, like what FIP is doing with the digital health in the pharmacy education. So if you are going and visiting to their website, so they did a survey recently in 2021 for developing a digitally enabled pharmaceutical workforce, right? So one of the goal for the FIP is the development of the digital environment, digital health for the all other people, all other pharmacy professionals. Okay, so that is how they took an initiative to get the survey, get the answer for their questionnaire, and they gather the much information about the digital health. So what they did, particularly the International Pharmaceutical Federation. So this is one of the recent article published in 2021 has conducted, the FIP has conducted a global study on digital health in pharmacy education, particularly to describe the readiness, the adaptability, and the responsiveness of the pharmacy education program to train the current and also the future pharmaceutical workforce on the digital health, and also to identify what are the skills gap our student is having to work as a competent pharmacist, So the finding of this particular study showed that a large proportion of pharmacy schools do not offer any digital health, education and skill sets, and also the knowledge how to apply that digital health technology to solve the existing clinical problem and to improve care of the patient, And that particular gap is identified due to the initiative taken by the FIP, and that is how we will get the feedback from the FIP, like where we want to have the changes in our pharmacy curriculum and how our student can think about to digitally equip, to sustain in a worldwide competition, right? So if you think about the different kind of, the faculty in the pharmacy, like pharmaceutics, you develop about a novel drug delivery system. For example, I just want to give the quote very shortly. I think we already exceeded the time, right? So just I want to give you some example here, the novel drug delivery system, right? If you think about the pharmaceutics. So if you go through the literature, like, the formulations, the injection into the eye, right? So eyesight, we have the many problems like diabetic nephropathy, diabetic retinopathy and all other things, right? So whenever the patient is having diabetic retinopathy, there are different limitations we have for the drug delivery. So we think about the novel drug delivery system, and that's how our pharmacy students should know about eye. What is the anatomy, physiology of the eye? So this is just one example I'm giving. There are many other things to explore in this particular field, right? So if you look at the literature, you can see the growth of the pharmaceutical company in this particular region. Those are working for the eye formulation, the eye drops, or the eye injection. Those particular drugs we are injecting in the eye of the patient for the blindness or maybe the other complications like diabetic retinopathy, right? So this is just one example I'm giving. So as a pharmacist, you should look for the change where the world is moving, and what are our community, what are our public having the different kind of disease condition. Okay, so in coming time, maybe in the 5 years time period, 10 years time period, what are those top 5 disease condition where we need to work upon. Okay, so that critical thinking we should build in our pharmacy profession to sustain in the competitive world, right? So pharmaceutical chemistry, wherever you see the molecules, we can convert into the medicine if you have that capability, that competence within our student, right? Pharmacology, various models we can have for the drug action, right from the rat, mice, up to the higher level of animals, up to the monkey and the other animals. Okay, the pharmacognosy, maybe the plant-based research or the herbal research. There are many things to discuss. Okay, but I think due to the limitation, just I want to wrap up here. Okay, the pharmacy practice, like how to improve the pharmaceutical care, right? So ultimately, we think about all the different faculty in the pharmacy, and pharmacy practice is the specialization where we have the actual practice and how we can improve the pharmaceutical care. So one of the program, what we can say is the quality improvement by having the quality use of medicine, the quality medicine. Okay, so these are the two terminology we have: quality medicine and quality use of medicine. So quality medicine is the related with the purity, and quality use of medicine wherever we think about the pharmacy practice and delivery of the pharmaceutical care in the to have the better health outcome, right? So lastly, I want to give you one message as a professional, as a responsible person. Okay, I have always know where I wanted to go in my life. So this is the one of the quote given by the Tiger Woods. And again, one of the quote I want to mention here is the let's contribute to the pharmacy education and research by enhancing the quality education. Okay, so good luck to all the pharmacy professionals. Okay, so these are my references, and thank you for your patience. and thank you for listening me, and sorry for the late. Okay, so if you have any question, please feel free to
Sir,
ask.
it's okay. Very nice session.
Yeah.
I open this session for the discussion. If anyone have the question, please unmute yourself and ask the question. Or it may be provide your question into chat box.
Dr. English, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Idasni here.
Yeah, just a minute, because something has happened to my screen. Just I'm adjusting it. Just a minute. Yeah. Now I can see you. Yeah. Hi, Dr. Redasni. Yeah. How are you, sir?
Yeah, fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm okay.
Yeah, meeting after a long time.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
you
you
are
are not at the initial time. You are not there in the presentation. Right?
Yeah, there was at that time some issue was there regarding connectivity.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Anyway, your session is excellent, and way in which you represented all the things with the help of the figures, diagrams, and in a very pictorial form. It is very informative, and in a very simpler way, in very lucid language, actually you have conveyed the message. And I think you have covered each and every aspect that is required for the student nowadays, especially with respect to the skill development. I don't think that you left anything which develops the skill, particularly developing the goals, self-reflection, how to behave, what are the different types of the skills students should acquire. Excellent session, Dr. English, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So once again, I want to thanks to all, special thanks to Dr. Alulkar sir, okay, Dean, Faculty of Pharmacy, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, Associate Dean, Dr. Redasni, okay, and all my colleagues. I think some of my friends are also there. Those are now available here. All the students, all the staff members of the university, okay, those are coming under this university particularly. All the principal, okay. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Sir,
Any
one question for me. Sir, what is the opportunity for the pharmacist people available in Malaysia?
Yeah, right now, we have some opportunity like academician, right? So academician, you can try for that, okay. But whenever you think about the community and the hospital, so the preference goes to the local candidate, right? So we have the limitation in that in some of the country, not even in Malaysia, but in most of the other country, the limitations are there. But some countries are accepting for the hospital even, and also for the clinical pharmacy, community pharmacy, okay. And in academics also, we can see there is an opportunity. But most of the university, the basic requirement is the, at least you should have your PhD degree, So if you have only a postgraduate, okay, so that sometime won't help you. So you should have the the PhD as the basic requirement, and ultimately your biodata should reflect something innovative. So that should be the minimum requirement. And always you can think about to just I'm talking to the student, right? So because the skills development is not that easy, I cannot convey everything in 1 hour or 2 hours, but it takes some time. It needs some time to have the workshop for that, okay, so that we have the better face-to-face communication, and that is how we can improve the skills that maybe we are lacking, because sometime in our Indian curriculum we don't have the ethics, professionalism, okay, that we get from our family, right? Ethics, professionalism, how to behave to others, how to communicate, how to give the respect to the others. But you can see, if you compare the Indian curriculum and the other Western countries curriculum, they have their curriculum to have that particular part as well, So sometime in our Indian curriculum, we need to think about where we are lacking, and especially what I mentioned now, the digital health, right? So that digital health, we need to think about, and 20 goals that FIP is setting for all the worldwide region for the all pharmacists, okay, so that all should be on the one platform, right? All should be on the one particular on the same page, right? So that's how we can improve in our curriculum. Also, our student only cannot rely on the textbook or maybe in the classroom teaching, but always they can thrive for the betterment, for getting the the knowledge from all over the world. So again, coming to your point, particularly the opportunity. So we have a lot of opportunity for the pharmacist. Okay, so that what I recommend here, very what I can say very frankly, and also we can search the engine. So even though you are in first year, don't waste your time. B.Pharm first year, don't waste your time. You can see what are the skills you want to improve, where you want to go. Maybe after your B.Pharm, what kind of the program you want to select, maybe the specialization in M.Pharm. Okay, and after that specialization, where you want to do your PhD, or maybe where you want to do your job. So don't think always about the money, but at the same time you can work for the betterment. Ultimately money will follow you, right?
Yes, anyone have a question? Please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yeah, please feel free to ask me question if you have any question in your mind. Okay, and that is how one of the skill you can develop to build up a confidence to ask the question to the resource person. So don't be afraid. I'm also the human being, and we are learning from each other by correcting our mistakes. So it's nice to meet you, all of you, and nice to communicate with all the members, and also with the students of this university, and those colleges come under this particular university. Okay, and this is again, I want to congratulate once again to have the good initiative for the student. Okay, yeah.
Okay, I think no one have the questions. I am very thankful to English sir, and your session very nice and very excellent. And you are saying that how the skill is very important for the development also. And in this skill development program, even though we are in the after the completion of the PhD, even though in profession, but continuous learning is very important, and value addition also very critical addition is required in our curriculum. So I think you are telling the most important things required for the students for when we are the getting the opportunity in your field. So they should be show their skill and they can be improve their own. So skill development is very important criteria needed in every person to develop its own self. So I am thankful once again to you on behalf of organizing committee, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, and thanks all the organizing committee arranging also excellent this seminar on all the interact with some international speakers and with this our students of the DBA2 and all the principal, and we also all the principal assure that we also trying to develop our students, means develop their more and more skill into our students by the different arranging the programs, or it may be introduce a new curriculum in your university curriculum. So once again I will thank you to Praveen Kumar Ungle sir and that Dr. Vivek Redasni sir, Santosh Eke sir, and I conclude that function is and over.
Okay,
thank you once again, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You can close.